How to never get nervous talking to motivated sellers. What is up, guys? Zach Ginn here, and in today's video, I'm going to be sharing exactly how, with just your phone and just you can turn into an absolute expert talking to motivated sellers over the phones. And so, really, what I'm going to talk about mostly today is how to gain this mysterious confidence that the most richest, successful, greatest quote closers of all time have, right? If you ever talk to somebody who is really good at talking to motivated sellers, right? Like they talk to anyone, they get it sold, and they're just good at that quote closing, right? You know, that hey, I know you're interested in selling your property, I know you're interested, and they magically can get contracts signed. And there's a lot of reasons why these people seem so much better than others. And, you know, before I get in trouble, right, I always say crazy things on my channel, but it's like, okay, so the kids call it Riz. All right. This is what my generation calls it, younger, right? They call it Riz. It's like, how can this guy get all the girls and I can't? And what Riz is, and this is like, I know it's like a very like young guy slang, but Riz is actually kind of an old person's word. Like it's charisma, right? Young people have never said the word charisma, but they say Riz. I think it's stupid, but like one of the reasons why some guys can get girls more than others is like this guy's just got great charisma, right? And the funniest part about it is we don't really talk about wholesaling too much. I guess it's they kind of connect, they don't, and obviously the skills of picking up people is not 100% correlating to wholesaling. But the one thing I will tell you is there is some similarities that you should know about. And what we're really going to be sharing today is exactly how to speak to motivated sellers and close deals without being a nervous wreck. And I talk about this because I have so many wholesalers that just get so like they are frozen in fear talking to a motivated seller. They are so scared to talk to sellers. And the funniest thing about it, right, is you should have zero fear talking to a seller. Like, I mean, when I talk to a motivated seller, I'm kind of yawning at the point. And a lot of people have noticed this. If you ever go to like my live calls, it's like, I'm kind of slightly annoyed with the motivated seller. Now, this is my personal YouTube channel, so I get to say whatever I want to say. And so what I mean by this is when I talk to a seller, it is so much different than when Rick talks to a motivated seller. And what you'll notice when I talk to sellers, and maybe how I just look at life sometimes, is I'm very to the point. And a lot of people think that's very brash. That's very like, just like I get to the point, right? I do dilly-dally. I will build rapport, but I am very much to the point when it comes to closing sellers. And what I mean by this is I'm just going to say it like it is. And sometimes I just come off of like, well, I mean, if you don't want to sell this thing, like I'll just buy another house. Like I don't want to deal with you. And the reason I do that, it's like, well, you don't want to be that, like you talk to all these other wholesalers, like, can I please buy your house? I think that's pretty stupid. Like I don't ever come into wholesaling on that angle of like, oh, I just want to please buy your house. Like, I'm like, well, I buy a lot of houses. I'm legit. Like, if you want to sell, like I'd buy it. Let's go see the house. So you don't want me to see it? If you don't want me to buy it, like I'll just go buy someone else's house. Like I got no problem. Like there's plenty of houses to buy. Like, I mean, have you seen the real estate market? Like prices are going down. And so plenty of people are looking to sell, right? And I say that, obviously I don't think real estate's crashing, but I kind of know who I'm talking to. Am I talking to a buyer? It's like, well, this is an upcoming market. And then I talk to a seller, like, oh, doom and gloom, right? And I'm not fraudulent. I'm not misrepresenting the facts to anyone, right? I always tell the truth. But the one thing I always do really well is when I talk to sellers, I have this unshakable confidence within me. And it's not that I sound smoother. It's obviously that I am not like, you know, I mean, contrary to what people say, I may be the sexiest wholesaler alive, but you know, it's not that like I'm the most good looking guy. It's not like, it's looks. Looks is the most important thing. That's so stupid, right? I saw somebody sent me some Andy Elliott clip, or no, is some guy, and he said like, oh, you know, if you don't shave, you're not gonna make any money. And it was like some Andy Elliott type thing. And I thought it was so stupid. I was like, dude, like, no, if you're virtually wholesaling, like nobody honestly cares. And the fact that that guy said, oh, a beard, people are going to judge you. It's like, well, I have acquisitions managers full sleeve tattoos, beard, like big individual, like honestly, like you would probably judge them. And that's not a bad thing. Trust me, tattoos are cool. But I'm gonna get on a tangent later. I love when people say I don't have any tattoos, but people are like, "Well, my body." They always say my body's a temple. I'm like, have you ever been to a temple? Like they got writing everywhere. Like, duh. But the thing about it is, some of these people you would probably judge them. They're jacked, lots of tattoos, right? You'd be like, "Oh, that might be," and they're the greatest of the old ladies, right? Because it's not about what they look; it's how they present themselves, right? And a big, strong person can present themselves as scary or as just a great person, depending, right? And so that's always the thing about it, right? And so a lot of people think it's just like, oh, there's this big secret of confidence, and it's not about how you look. And if it was how you look and how you sounded like, I would probably be one of the worst wholesalers, especially coming up, right? And I got my first deal at 17 years old, and I've been pretty much beating other people in my local market. I've been beating 40 and 50-year-olds, not Rick, but like I was legit 18 years old. I don't think anyone else can really say this. I was legitimately 18 years old. This is all documented, verified stuff. I was 18 years old. And I would go on an appointment after like a 45-year-old guy who's buying 10 houses a month. And I would close the seller and I would beat these 40, 50-year-old men. And no joke, I've had these 40, 50-year-old men come up to me in the gym and try to physically assault me because I was just destroying. Can you imagine being in high school and these guys are coming at you at the gym, just like, what? And they're trying to legit beat you up because you're destroying them on appointments. And it was just absolutely hilarious. But like the thing about it is it's so funny to me, but like my age could have been the reason why I sucked at wholesaling and nobody believed in me. Okay, Juan says, isn't Florida State your ground state? I was not 21 years old. Read between the lines of what you can get at 21. That's all I could say, right? When you're 18 years old, it is not smart to go fight somebody that might have equipment on them. How do I say that the right way? I trust me. I have plenty of MMA experience, lots of jiu-jitsu, lots of boxing, a ton of wrestling, but there's no boxing that's going to help you with somebody who's got equipment, more or less. And you're 18, you can't really get anything else. So I know how to pick my battles to live another day. I value my life over my ego. But the thing is, well, I was 18. I was destroying people just like twice my age, 3 times my age. And so it's not the age that is the problem. And so I've been kind of going through this and, almost we're closing 4,000 deals, over 3,500 deals, been wholesaling almost 9 years now. I figured out pretty dang fast. It is never, ever, ever, ever going to be your age, how you look, how you sound. I get people saying, I have an accent. Like, bro, your accent is not the reason why you suck at wholesaling or talking to sellers. It's about really one main thing and a couple other things that we're going to talk about today. But I have so many people that they get so stressed and they honestly just suck. I'll tell you, the main thing is going to be confidence. And this really comes into a lot of plays. We get a lot of people talking a lot of crazy stuff here, on this channel of what is confidence, how to gain confidence, all these things. And a lot of people believe that confidence, right? Confidence is the main thing. That confidence is like a fake bravado. It's like, oh, I'm so nervous, but let me put my fake confidence on. Hi, how's it going? And like, if I could give you one of my best skills I've ever had ever since I was a young person is I'm very good in person. Over the phone's a little more difficult, but in person, I'm very good is if I could have a 15, 20-minute conversation with you, I have a pretty good instinct to figure out if you are faking it or if you're telling the truth. Not that I'm a lie detector, but to see how sincere you are in answers. Now, I've been wrong before plenty of times, but most of the time with employees, fake people, I cannot deal with. And like, I just got back on a fun little trip, and obviously I'm a little more tan. Look at my Instagram. I had a very good time. I was in Key West, but it was a very, very fun time. But the thing about it is this reminds me back of a time when we had an acquisitions manager once, and we love as a team, right? Because I'm the greatest boss of all time. Um, when we hire someone to be an acquisitions manager, we look at two things with them, right? Number one, we look at making sure they're non-entrepreneur. This is why I don't hire my subscribers, because you guys are all entrepreneurs, and I don't want you to take my information, my company secrets, and I kind of give them all out, but my company information stuff, and then you go out and try to become a competitor in wholesaling in my local market. I don't really care about virtual, right? And then number two is we don't like fake people to a point, because usually there's an ego issue, and then they always blow up. And what I mean by this is you're just not very genuine. So when you talk to a seller and you're a nice guy, but like you're kind of fake, it's weird to kind of put it on there, but like you could tell like they have this facade, but behind closed doors, like they actually hate talking to this person, and they actually don't enjoy closing sellers, or they don't enjoy the process of real estate and all these things. And they're just doing it for the money. Those people never last in our company, right? And so what we do is, once a year, maybe twice a year, right? We like to take the entire crew out, and it has to be on the weekends, right? And we go fishing in the Keys. At Florida Keys, one of my favorite places in the entire world. I've gone there way too many times, but we like to go fishing. I remember just sitting with this guy, new hire, and we went to Mrs. Max. Mrs. Max is actually a key lime pie place. Oh, beautiful. I've eaten 10 slices of key lime pie that's past 2 days. But the thing is, I'm in Mrs. Max, and I remember this very clearly. I'm talking to this guy, and I was just like, I had like disgust when talking. Like, I could tell and this guy blew up in our company like 2 or 3 months, tried to steal 10 deals. Like it was insane. And the thing about it is he had lots of fake confidence in him. And, it just reminds me of the story of, it's not about exactly how you say things, but it's like how you truly, your intentions in your heart and soul. Your heart and soul have to connect. And I'm not getting all foo-foo woo-woo on this, but let's talk about it, right? So no fake confidence. We're talking about real confidence today. So what is confidence in wholesaling real estate? And so what confidence is first and foremost, confidence is a belief in the words you say and the things you do. And so with the employee example, right, we will not name them. But the one thing I will tell you is when you generally want to say like, oh, how are you doing today? When you ask like a motivated seller, like, it's like, do you actually care how they're doing? Or it's just like you're going through the motions of how you're doing. And I know that I'm gonna get sound clipped to be like, Zach, this is the stupidest thing you could possibly say. Like from the outside it looks dumb, but do you genuinely care about people? I think most people watching this, 98% of them are not sociopaths who generally do not care for anyone. Like if the way I like to think about it is if a person is like on the floor and an old lady fell, right? And you're walking down the street with an ice cream cone, would you throw the ice cream cone away and help the lady with both hands? That's the way I look. You got to kind of sacrifice something for generally just the good of a human being, right? It's like do you genuinely care? And there's about 1% of the population that are considered sociopaths or psychopaths where they generally cannot feel any empathy for human beings. Now, probably one person here is like this. I don't think anyone, but like generally, even if you're like a mean person, if you see an old lady like on the floor, you're going to help her out, right? Like if you have that part in you, you can grow that part of your heart, right? But as long as you're not like a sociopath, like you generally should care about other people. And I think as a man, you shouldn't be like, oh man, I'm a man's man. I don't care about nothing. Like that's dumb, dude. Being a man is caring about other people. And I could care less what anyone says. And there's being jack strong and all these things, but like I think being strong is caring about other people too, and not in a weird way, but like generally you should care, right? And the thing is, generally, if you ask a motivated seller, how are they doing today? Because they go in tough times. They're going through difficult situations, right? You should really care about them and their situations. And obviously, it's a twin benefit because if you care, you actually make more money. And, these are generally people putting trust in you. You should put trust in them and build an actual, relationship with them, right? And I'm not saying being best friends with them, but like understanding your roles and their roles, but at least like, hey, this person understands me. That is one of the clearest, most simplest ways to actually start having success. And so confidence is really believing the words you say. And so when I say believe in the words you say, I mean, how are you doing? Like actually believe in that, right? And you'll find when you tell a lie, Like, oh, how are you doing today? I want to know how you're doing. And you don't like actually care. The thing about being human beings, and we've read a lot of psychology books and go like when you actually are even white lying or just like lying a little bit, your inflections and you're just unless you're like a trained actor, which none of us are. Some of I guess like it's very hard for you to really like pretend to be something, right? Like, if I pretended to be the Joker in Batman and like I want to destroy people and destroy a hospital, like it's not going to sound very genuine of me being crazy. Actually, I am crazy, so I could probably be the Joker. But it's gonna be kind of hard for me to play those roles. But like you got to believe in what you say, and this comes to every aspect of talking to a motivated seller. And so let's kind of go through the top, right? It's how are you doing today? Are you interested in selling your property? Which everyone should, right? And I'm looking to buy your property for cash. And when you have a foundation of a truth and a foundation of you actually caring, you're going to end up making a lot more money and actually having success. But the problem is most wholesalers generally do not care. And especially young people, they're looking just only get in this business just for a little bit, not build connections, stuff like that, right? That's really going to get in a lot of pain. And so actually believe in what you say. And so the one thing I'll tell you is the fastest way to gain confidence, just like the top wholesalers with the best confidence, most of it is going to naturally just come from experience. And this is just a true fact. Once you start going out here and talking to motivated sellers and you start closing more deals, you're going to start first and foremost believing in what you're doing. Remember, belief in the words you say and the things you do. So actually, when you believe in yourself that, most people, you're going to find this, they'll make all these calls and they get nothing. And then they get one deal. This is so crazy, but they'll get one wholesaling deal. Okay. They'll get one wholesaling deal. And then right after they get that deal, they'll get 2 deals the next month, then 3, then 4. It's like I spent 8 months not having any deal, but after my first deal, then I got 10 deals a month after that. It's like, what happened? You actually believed. And not like I believe, like Santa Claus believed, but like this, it actually happened in front of me. My belief is literally 100%. And this is why when somebody gets their first deal, it always explodes their growth. Sometimes people flutter and they don't, but for most of the time, it explodes their growth. And this is why, I get a lot of flack on my channel. Like, Zach, you talk about getting your first deal a lot. It's because like once the first deal is made, the rest just comes so simple. That's the hardest part in making somebody a millionaire in wholesaling. Is just get the first deal. Like that first deal, that confidence is now unshakable because once you get a wholesale deal, right? And this is why I was so excited, hearing about some people's first deals on the Discord call on Friday. It was so awesome to really see that because once you get that first deal, it's like I talked to another motivated seller. I was like, hey, I actually can buy your house. I got my buyers. I know the entire process, right? I got my title company. I have everything lined up. I can do every part of this process. I can do it because there's nothing is wavering on your confidence of the actual things you do. So believe in things you do and the things you say. Now, next, the things you say. Hey, me and my partner can buy your property for cash. Now, you already had a partner that already closed the deal with you. Now, confidence is already perfectly there. Now, are you going to be super smooth or as smooth as me? No. Are you going to be perfect? No. Guys, what I need to start doing some more live calls because I think the thing about live calls that a lot of people think is you'll see recordings of me and all these things. And I'll tell you, I'm pretty smooth with it talking to most sellers, but like I'll fail. Like I'll definitely mess up. I'll say ums, buts. I will switch contract with agreement. Like I will still mess up today. And that's completely okay. Kobe Bryant, even in his heyday was still missing shots. And he wasn't missing most of them, but like he was still missing a small amount. And that's not because he's a human being and he's not completely perfect. And that's not a problem. The only basketball player that was pretty much perfect is Michael Jordan because he never lost to the finals. But LeBron Glazers can dislike this video if they want. I don't care. But like LeBron, and for all my LeBron Glazers out here, LeBron still makes mistakes. Okay. I mean, he left the Heat. That was his biggest mistake he's ever made in his life, but I won't get into that. So confidence is going to come from experience and talking to a motivated seller. There are part of the reps and repetition. And obviously you really get that when you just put hours in the game and you really get, and so this is why I love wholesaling so much. So you got to remember this to a point. If I was 18 years old and I wanted to start weightlifting. Does anybody know? Okay, when Zach was 18 years old, I was I was 6 foot. I grew an inch in college. So I was 6 feet tall. I was 157 pounds. And my bench was like 200, right? When I was a senior in high school. Okay. At 18 years old. Okay. Those are my stats at 18. All right. Could I, and these for people that know weightlifting, obviously we're live. Could I bench press 315 pounds in a month? Is that physically possible? If my best bench at 18 years old was 200 pounds, could I bench 315 a month later? And you could shoot me up with anything, right? Most bodybuilders or people that know bodybuilding, right? Or strength, they're going to say that's not, it doesn't, you could shoot yourself with alien blood. I don't even know, like, right? You could be you could be a Saiyan yourself. That ain't going to happen in a month. Obviously in 6 months, maybe a year, right? But like in a month, that can't happen, right? It's like, okay, my mile time right now is 10 minutes. Can I get a 4-minute mile within a week? It's like, no. Now, your body is perfectly capable of running a 5-minute mile, just not in a week. It might take you like 3 or 4 months of constantly training and your heart being healthy and all this stuff, right? And so the thing about it is, like, for weightlifting and sports, I can't go from a regular basketball player to elite in a month. The coolest part about wholesaling is you get your first deal, 7 days, close it, and just start having traction and just going boom. You become an elite wholesaler in a month or two. And when it comes to talking to sellers, you can be elite in a week or 2 weeks. That's the best part, because confidence does not have a certain amount of time it naturally has to progress. So yes, confidence does come from experience, but there's no rule saying that you have to have experience to have complete confidence. That's the thing. So like, so many people think they have to have this experience. Well, first, to get the experience, you have to do it. The action's important, but you don't have to. You can just believe right now, and you're going to be just as good as somebody else if you truly do believe. Now, more or less experience is probably going to be the best thing. Experience plus true beliefs can help you out, but that's how you do it. And so the question comes, if I'm a complete beginner in wholesaling, I want to have unshakable confidence with motivated sellers. How do I do it? I'll be honest with you. Your biggest issue is being nervous with motivated. And I don't call it confidence. I think most people, especially a beginner, is going to be nervousness. Now, you don't have to be on the phone like, to be considered nervous. It could be, hey, how are you doing today? You could sound kind of okay, but deep down you are nervous. You're kind of like okay on the phone, but like deep down. Have you ever been that, like, you're super nervous inside, but like you're coming off cool? That's still being nervous, by the way. And I still consider that, right? I mean, let's take a poll here, right? Since we're live, right? How many of you guys and gals, your first conversation with a motivated seller, were you nervous? Yes or no? Right? Like, I was scared straight. Okay. And my first appointment, I sounded pretty good on the phones ish, but like I was dying inside. I was nervous inside, right? I was literally outside the halls of my high school and I was super, super nervous. Right. And so we're all terrified. And so the thing is, being nervous is you are going to become nervous talking to a motivated seller. If you're a beginner, you are going to be nervous. No matter, you will be nervous. That is just a true thing. And so what I'm telling you is your biggest issue with sounding confident is going to be nervous. Now, there's not a problem with being nervous. It's going to happen. But what are some things we can do to eliminate? You can bring nervous, like let's say there's a levels to being nervous, 0 to a 10. How do you go from you being an 8 to like a 4? You're still going to have some, but you're going to be less nervous, right? How do you do this? Well, being nervous, talking to a seller, not being smooth, not having that quote wholesale riz, right, is going to come from 3 main things. And I'm going to tell you exactly how to overcome these 3 things so you can have the best shot of sounding as good as you can. Now, you're going to be nervous, right? I mean, Faith was nervous. Myself was nervous. Jason was nervous. Jason, I need to talk to you, dude. Like I don't even know what's going on with Jason. I know Jason's probably doing great. He's probably crushing it. Jason, I need to get your phone number. I need to call you up, man. I just want to see how you're doing, dude. I care. And I haven't talked to Jason in a minute. I know Rick has talked to Jason, but I haven't talked to Jason. Oh, man. Okay. So nervousness comes from three main things. So let's talk about the first one. Obviously, the biggest part why somebody becomes nervous is going to be primarily from what I call fear. And fear is to become nervous from fear. The reason for this I've found is you're scared of what the seller is going to say. So the fear, when you're at fear, you get nervous, and the reason why you have a fear is because you have a fear of what the seller is going to say. Now, stay with me here because you're going to sound pretty dang good off the phones after this. Now, what I mean by this is you're scared what the seller is going to say. That means you're going to be scared that they're first and foremost going to say mean things about you. I personally think that's the dumbest thing in the world. Like, I mean, coming from a guy that gets hate videos, exposed videos about him, people talking the craziest comments, right? I honestly don't care what anyone mean has to say about me. You know why I say that? If I get a hate comment, oh, Zach, you're a jerk, you're terrible, you're this or that, right? It's like, well, first of all, did I do anything illegal? Then if I did, go sue me in court. Obviously, you can't sue me in court because I didn't do anything illegal. So you got to make an exposed video about me. You know, how many exposed videos I got, but they're all stupid and fake. But the thing about it's like, I always tell people this, and this has always been my number one like guiding light when somebody says something mean to me. My mom thinks I'm cool. And a lot of people think that is super dumb, but that should be the greatest guiding light if somebody says something mean to you. What I mean by this is, let's say somebody goes out here and calls me a bleeping bleeper, blah, blah, blah. I am the biggest jerk, whatever in the world. Okay. You just said that about me. Awesome. Well, let me go phone my mom up, who gave birth to me 25 years ago, that raised me, that knows me pretty dang well. I see her a lot, right? Let me call her up and say, hey, do you think I'm a bleeping jerk? No? Okay, well, I think you know me more than Johnny Boy 62. So I'm not going to be upset about this guy because you believe it. And I trust your opinion over this guy's opinion. So I don't have any fear. Now, I also say this. It's like, well, does your dog think you're cool? Like, you go down the line. And if I get offended what Johnny Boy 62 says about me, that means I hold his opinion over me way bigger than you know, Courtney or Jason or Robin. I think Steve thinks I'm cool. And so it's like, Steve is, I mean, shout out to Steve. Steve's been on so many live streams. I think he knows me, you know, on a YouTube sense pretty dang well. If he doesn't think I'm a bleeping jerk, well, he has watched way more content than Johnny Boy 62. If I get offended at Johnny Boy 62, that means I don't respect Steve's opinion of me. I respect this random guy's opinion of me. Also, I always say this because I'm a young kid. Not a kid, but like, you know, I've played Modern Warfare 1 and 2 in the Xbox Live chats. There's literally nothing you can say to me that some 12-year-old back in 2011 said about me. I promise you, whatever you're telling me right now, somebody in a Modern Warfare 2 Xbox Live chat party in 2011, they have said way worse things about me and my mama than you could possibly ever say to me. So I'm not fazed by it. So that's the truth about it, right? So the thing about it is you're afraid if somebody says something mean to you. Guys, you should have no fear over that. Now, there comes to the point where, like, do you fear of like your life or of imminent danger? And I would say go to virtual wholesaling if that's like your biggest issue in your world, like generally, but you should be fine. Now, the next one is you're scared. And this is the main part, right, of the fear. You have a fear that you're not going to be able to answer the question they're going to ask. And this is where like 80% of the fear comes from. They ask me something about the easement of the lot. And I go like, I don't know anything about easement of the lot. Oh, you're some like dumb guy. You don't know anything about easements. Oh, no, I don't want to deal with you. And then boom, click. And then boom, you're a failure. And this was the deal of a lifetime. Okay. You know, the thing about it is you have to just say the dang truth. I don't know why this is such a difficult thing to say, but if you don't know how easements for lots work, just say this. Hey, that's a really good question. I'm not the expert on real estate law or how easements work, but I can ask the title company. They actually have an attorney on file in the office, and they will go let me everything I need to know about the easement on this lot, and I will make this a priority, get that answered to you right now. Is that okay? His name is John, whatever his actual name is, and I will get this answered to you. Now, do you see how you don't sound like an idiot? Like, hey, I actually don't know that question, but I have a legal lawyer who knows that. I ask him these type of questions. You never dealt with easements before? Well, I just buy houses, man. Like, I let this title company make sure we're legally protected. We have title insurance and all these things, right? Boom. Done. That's the thing about it, right? So many wholesalers, right, really truly believe, right, that they're scared. That they're scared because they won't be able to answer the question. Well, if there's a question you don't know, generally just say, hey, I don't know that answer. But what you need to do is provide at least somebody that knows that answer. Now, I believe everyone can use me. Hey, that's a great question. Let me ask one of my colleagues, Zach Ginn, and I'm actually in his mentorship program. He's actually going to tell me if you have to, right? Because you earn for Wholesaling.com. You're subscribed to this channel. You can talk to anyone in the chat here. Like, if you have any questions, we're all here to help you, right? Everyone is so shocked in the Discord call Friday, especially newbies. You're like, I can't believe, Zach, you're just answering my questions. You're actually helping me. And like, I didn't spend any money. Like, I feel bad. I'm like, just help other people out. Like, just do the right thing. Like, that's what I do. Don't be scared to go out here and answer a question if you don't know it. Like, there's no shame in that. Now, you should be prepared of what they're going to say. That's why I say go to freewholesaling.com, learn how to wholesale real estate for free. We have objection scripts. There's other objections you're going to get, right? Like, you're talking to a seller like, hey, how's it going? They go, what's the offer? Give me an offer right now. Ah! And they're like, they're screaming at you. Give me an offer, give me an offer, give me an offer, give me an offer. That's not good. But generally, if you're scared you won't be able to answer that question, I'll be honest with you, just admit, hey, I would love to give you an offer right now, but I have to meet at the house, whatever the situation is, whatever the objection, go answer right there. Now, another reason so many people get nervous is you don't know what to say. And this is actually a pretty dang good one, right? Obviously, you don't have a script. And so if you're brand new into wholesaling, I just throw you in. Like, I throw you straight into the fire. Motivated sellers are like, oh, I don't even know what to do. It's okay. Like, you don't have a script. Now, a lot of people believe, and this is why they don't sound good over the phones, is they'll take my script that I give you and they make that script like it's gospel. Like, it is like, you cannot change it. It cannot be different. Like, it has to be like this. Guys, I give my scripts and I generally tell you, like, this is like Play-Doh. Go out here and mold it the way that works for you. And I don't need you to sound like Zach. We do not need another Zach Ginn out here, okay? I got plenty of fake Zach Ginns out here. We do not need any more. But if the way that I like to talk to a seller is through this type of script, take it, make it your own. Don't add anything too crazy to it, but like, make it your own. If I go MCTP, you want to go PMTC, like that, I have no problem in that. If I ask why you're looking to sell the property, say, hey, what's the reason you're looking to get rid of the property? It's different. It gets the same point across. If that's what makes you feel good, gives you the most belief, which is confidence, I'm all for it. I got no problem with that. But the thing I'll tell you is you do not need a word for word script. That will actually make you more nervous, because once you go off script, like, have you ever taught, like, I don't know if you talk to these telemarketers sometimes, they have like a script. And once they say something that's off script, they're like, they break, right? Because all they know is the script. And so what you want to have is what I call like a general flow script, or like just a general flow of how the conversation should go. And what I mean by this is the conversation should go obviously with greetings, maybe with a, what are you looking to do? Why are you looking to buy, right? Those are just objections. Like, who are you? Hey, my name's Zach. I'm looking to buy properties in the area for cash. That's who you are. Now, I get this sometimes. It's like, well, why are you looking to buy property? And I always say, well, I'm looking to buy properties primarily for the reason to rent the property out or to possibly flip it. I mean, maybe I work with partners. We do other things with it, right? I mean, I'm just be upfront with you. Like, I'm looking to buy the property, make money. So maybe it's to rent it out. Maybe it's to flip it. Like, there's plenty of ways to make money with actually buying a property. And you're saying the truth. Like, oh, I just have all this money and I'm just looking to just give people money by their, like, don't lie. Like, I'm looking to buy it to make money. Like, duh. No problem with that. You're still going to get what they want. But you don't want to be like boom, 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 because they're going to give you questions you don't know, right? But generally, you want to let them know who you are. If they ask why, you can tell them why. I don't generally just tell people why. And it's like going into, Kroger and they say, hello, I'm here to make money off of you. Go buy things. Because when you buy things, I make money from you. Like, it's kind of implied Kroger makes money when you buy things. You don't have to say it, right? It's so funny. But like, okay, so you generally want to know of like, hello, how are you? I'm not looking to buy properties for cash. And then there's basically a discovery process of actually discovering information about the person, right? So like, hey, who are they? What's the address of the property? Tell me a little bit more about the property. Can you tell me why you're looking to sell it? M, motivation. C, can you tell me more about the property? Like, is there any repairs that need to be done on it? T, time frame. When are they looking to sell? Like, do they want to sell it? This is another part of urgency, right? Are they looking to sell it in 6 months? Or are they looking to sell it in a month? And then P, price, like what price they want to sell it at, right? And then from there, it's up to you what you want to do, right? It depends on what type of wholesaling. There's so many different types of wholesaling. You could be, if it's like an inbound lead and it's virtual, maybe you just want to go out here and go straight into the offer. Maybe it's in person, you want to call them back or set the appointment. They're all different, but I don't want you to have this rigid, like it has to be this, and this. The only thing I'm pretty rigid about is obviously you need the address. You want to be able to get an offer price generally. And one thing I'm really rigid about is I want you to condition the seller. I don't want you to ever give an offer without them agreeing to making a yes or no decision before you give that offer out. Reason is you don't want to go with the dreaded maybe, but that's because I deal with mostly off-market deals that were direct to seller. That's just how I do it, and that's how you get deals, right? Now, I'll tell you this. This is not a word-for-word script. So if you go to any of my scripts, you try to go word for word, make your own script, that's fine. But just know that it's like having a game script in football. It's like, okay, well, I know they mostly run man, so we're going to be doing this. Like, you have to adjust on the fly. The only thing that is expected is the unexpected sometimes. It's like having this game plan. Mike Tyson says everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. It's like you have a general game plan in a fight of how you're going to do it. But like sometimes hey, this guy was never a kickboxer, but I thought he was only a boxer, but this guy's throwing kicks. Like, I need to adjust my strategy. You have to expect that. And if you go in there not doing it, you're going to get destroyed, right? Now, number 3, and this is probably the stupidest one, but it is a truth. Okay. But you don't actually, and this is mostly beginner issues, but you generally don't believe that you can buy the person's house. You actually think you're a fraud. You think you're lying to a seller. You think that you buying the property for cash is you're actually, I know this is great, but like you actually think you're just stealing equity from the seller. Like, you generally believe that I'm buying this person's property and I'm stealing equity from them. I'm deceiving them and frauding them. And they really should just go with a realtor. They'd make more money. And I'm beating their lives over to, some people generally believe this. It's hilarious to me. Well, first and foremost, can you generally buy the house? Yes. If you say that you and your partner are, yes. Now, can they make more money? One part of how I always talk to motivated sellers, and I've been completely transparent with this for Jesus, how long, is why don't you go with a realtor? You'll probably make more money listing with a realtor. Well, I want speed and convenience. Oh, wow. This is why people trade in a car. If a car ever gets into an accident, like its value plummets because there's accidents reported on this vehicle. Sometimes it's actually you make more money just trading it in and not dealing with the hassle than dealing with the hassle. And that's why most people trade in their cars. They do not want to deal with anything else. They just want to rather trade in that sucker. They don't. Speed and convenience. Okay, speed and convenience. That's the craziest part about it, right? And the craziest thing about it is a lot more people believe this in the past couple of years than ever before, because you had an argument in 2021, 2022 that speed and convenience, wholesalers really don't provide that. You might be like, Zach, what are you talking about? It's like, well, back in 2022, you could list a house and it would just get 17 offers and it gets sold full asking price like that. like, let's do Austin, Texas. You list a property for 900 grand. It's worth 800. You'll probably get some crazy offers and get it sold in 14, 15 days. If you try to list a property at market value in Austin, Texas right now, you're not going to get like not standing room over, it's sitting room over. Like no one wants to give you offers. Like the thing's not selling now. And so, I think a lot of wholesalers have this thing of like in 2021, 2022, that's how real estate is in general. No. Liquidity is a problem in real estate. Like it's hard to just sell a property fast for at market value in real. It is very difficult to do. Very difficult to do. You actually have to have skills as a realtor to sell it. Most people don't want to have that conversation. Now it's a lot harder to have liquidity in the real estate market. And I'm not trying to talk all high level, but basically what this means is it's not easy to sell a house just doing the bare minimum anymore. It used to. You used to just list a property, boom, get all these offers, boom, boom, boom. Now with interest rates, you actually have to have a good property. You actually have to price it sometimes below the market value. I know that is insane outside of wholesale. Like we sell deals to cash buyers for below market value. We make money, the cash buyer makes money, right? We buy for a deep discount and then we sell for a discount. We sell properties at discount. Well, we sell contracts for discounts, right? But real estate agents do not know that concept because they get one listing a year. Most of them, staying truth. And they have to squeeze the most out of that sucker, right? It's so funny to me. But like you have this belief because you're used to 2022. Like if I can't get this property sold for 4 months, like I'm done with realtors. Let me just get rid of this thing, right? Like has anyone had that like beat up car? I used to have a car that the suspension was so messed. Like the car would wobble. In high school, the car would wobble when I drove. This is my first. I drove all my appointments in this car when I was a teenager. The car would wobble when I drove. Like it's like driving a boat. Like I would turn, the whole seat would turn. Like, and that was a very difficult car to sell. We just traded in because like I could not privately sell that car. Like it was beat up. How many dang accidents that sucker been in? Like not a good car to be selling just to the general person, right? And so the thing is, speed and convenience always has a place. Now, how are you going to gain the most skills? I'll tell you now, practice, work, take action. This is the fastest way you're going to not get nervous and actually confidently close and talk to motivated sellers because you're not going to have this fake belief. You're going to have a real belief. And you can practice with other people. You could actually take actions. Really up to you. But if you genuinely believe you can do it and have this unshaking belief, and actually trust the process and hopefully get a deal and do the reps, you're going to succeed in wholesaling real estate. So that is my guide here on how to build confidence, how not to be nervous anymore, and how to have as much success as humanly possible. But we're here to talk. Sorry, I was a little late on the stream. I literally just drove from Key West today. I actually got in at like 8 o'clock. I went straight from the Keys here, right? And I had to go here for the stream. But basically, that's why the thumbnail took a minute to be posted on here. But whatever. So I'm here. Pretty fun. So I just got back. A really fun trip. I think I posted. I was on a jet ski. Everyone loves my captions. But we had a fun jet ski. Fun day on the jet ski. I went parasailing for the first time. That was terrible. I don't know how many likes. How many likes would this video have to get for you guys to see a picture of me parasailing? I was 700 feet in the air. I was screaming like a little baby, but that was insane, but really good time, So, all right. So let's answer some questions, see what's going on wholesaling real estate and seeing how I can help you guys out, catching fish, doing my thing. What's up. So, all right. So let's answer some questions and see how everyone's doing here. And let's break this all down. And so talking to sellers, let's get it. All right. So Peter said, I just read my own statement. I think I might know more than I think I do. All right. There we go. So Al says, my issue is comping. So Al, great question. So, let me do the one-on-one link. So if you want to talk to me one-on-one absolutely for free, here is my streamer link. It's right here. You can hop on and talk to me absolutely for free. And I will give you the best advice I possibly can. And a lot of people I got asked on Discord the other day, like, Zach, Like, how much for a one-on-one? And I'm like, well, I don't sell it. I just help people out. We're all in one community together. It's like, I won't give him a preferential treatment. Maybe you give me, if we do deals together, I'll probably give you some preferential treatment. But Al, if your issue right now is comping properties, one of the reasons might be you're just in too much of a rural market. There's not enough people in the area. And number two is you're probably overthinking it. Like, a lot of people have this issue where they're trying to find like one of ones. Like, this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,300 square feet. I look at other three. I like to keep 3-2s, but like I look at 1,100 square feet, 1,400 square feet. Like, I just make a general rule, and I just make a general lowball offer. You got to remember when it comes to making offers, which is the point of comping, right? The offer just needs to be so low, it's a no-brainer. Like, I always say this to my acquisitions people, like, well, I know you're comping, you're getting in all this, right? You're getting all this like crazy stuff, right? All right. The thing about it is you're overthinking this acquisition manager, right? Like, what's an offer that is like such a no-brainer? Like, such a stupid no-brainer that we give the seller that we know we can make money. It's like, oh, well, we got this buyer. I could sell it to him all day for 200. So if I offer the guy 140, like, oh my gosh, you make a killing. Offer 140. Stop going in the crazy comps. Just lowball. Thomas says, what do I say if they ask how I got their number? That's a great question. So if somebody asks how you got their number, you can basically say, well, my partner, Rick, if you have a partner, right? Rick was my partner. Hey, my partner, Rick, gave me the number. So he gave me a list of people that might be looking to sell the property. I can go ask them. He probably pulled it from the internet. That's how I like to say it. Julius, what's going on, man?
Hey, man. How's it going?
I'm blessed, dude. How are you?
Good, dude. I was actually at the Discord live stream, but my audio wasn't working. I don't know if you remember.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. What's
Yeah.
going on, man?
Yeah. So it's a bit of a basic question, but for virtual wholesaling, is an appointment not needed for someone to come physically like see or inspect the house because everything is done virtually?
Okay. So you want someone to physically see it, right? Okay. Here's the thing about it. If nobody sees the property physically and you give it to the cash buyer, it's a lot different than you think. There's going to be a problem. What's your main issue with someone not? Why do you not want to have anyone to come buy the property?
Oh no, I was just like wondering about how, like, I guess like who's gonna come inspect the house, like how kind of like that's like how is that process like embedded in there?
Okay.
I just don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. So to the seller, right? This is to the seller. Me and my partner are going to come by, or maybe just my partner, and we are going to just confirm the condition of the property. And that's just someone bringing the buyer through the house and saying it, right? It could be someone taking pictures first and then bringing the partner through. It's really up to you which way you want to do it. Probably having a JV partner come by, take pictures is going to be the best, and then dispo it from there.
Gotcha.
You do not want to be sending like blind deals to buyers without any pictures. Bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
Some people disagree with me. I think that's a bad idea.
Okay, so I just basically get like a boots on the ground guy to come look at the property.
Yeah, preferably a JV partner. First couple deals, and they have money, you can start hiring people to go out here and do it for you.
Okay.
Without giving up equity.
Yeah. And then I guess like how does that factor into like the inspection period? So obviously it's going to be during the inspection period, right?
So yeah, you're gonna sign a contract first and then do it all within the inspection period.
Awesome. Okay, my next question is during cold calls, what if you get an objection where someone asks if you're a wholesaler and they request you to verify that you're a real estate investor by sending them proof like websites, etc. Because I remember in one of your cold calls, when you closed that guy, he was asking like, are you a wholesaler? Can I see some information, like proof that you're a real estate investor? Like what do you do like if you don't have that proof?
You use your partner's proof because they're going to be the end buyer, right? So if you don't believe it, like here's my partner. Like he buys a lot.
Awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
And so use your partners as proof. And call worst case scenario, you can get tight enough for the cash buyer where they call the cash buyer. They know you're a wholesaler. Like, hey, I have a seller that's gonna be a smoking deal. I want to give you a really good deal on. He's gonna call just to verify that like we're legit? Can you just tell him you're legit? And if he's a good guy, he won't steal the deal from you. He'll just, yeah, no, we're legit. Here's a couple properties bought for cash. Go work with Zach.
Gotcha.
You have to have a cool cash buyer, but like that's if worst comes to worst.
Okay. Cool. All right. I guess my last question is, in a previous video, you mentioned that there were like court cases that allowed wholesalers to call DNC numbers, basically kind of like legitimized it. But what about auto dialers? Now I know you're not a lawyer, but doesn't like the FCC or like the TCPA crack down on this? Like, isn't there like a risk with auto dialing? Like, for example, with Ninja Mode, for example.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So the best of my ability with Ninja Mode, everything's legally compliant as long as you consent and you do everything that Ninja Mode says. Remember, Ninja Mode is built on side of Go High Level. So there is a third, the liability will be on Go High Level more than just me. But I will tell you this. Let's use an example, okay, Julius? Let's say I'm calling you, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say I'm calling you from a number, and then you try to sue me for DNC. And I say, well, I was offering to buy your house. Here's plenty of case law saying that. Then you say, okay, the judge says, yeah, like case dismissed. But he was using an auto dialer. And I basically say, well, what auto dialer did I use? First, do you think this guy's randomly going to know about Ninja Mode? First, he's going to say, oh, he was using, can you give me evidence? Please give me evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Unless he literally hacks my computer, which is very illegal. How he's going to know I use an auto dialer? I'm not telling you, I'm not going to answer this question for you, but like, how can he sue me for using an auto dialer? How would he even know? You would have to say, I'm using Ninja Mode auto dialer. Like, you would have to say that for him to even consider attacking. You know, like it's crazy to be even sued from that because you, right? Like,
yeah.
How would you even attack someone for that? But okay. Is it legally an auto dialer? Well, is it calling? Did you put the numbers yourself? Are you doing it yet? You know, there's a lot of other dialers that have shown that it's legally compliant, but I'm not a lawyer. The thing is, let's say you're trying to sue me for using an auto dialer. You have to know I'm using an auto dialer. So number one, you're making YouTube videos, right?
Yeah.
Let's say Julius, some guy wants to sue you for using Ninja Mode dialer, and he saw this YouTube video of you, Julius, saying it. First and foremost, he would have to prove that call was from an auto dialer, not just from Ninja Mode, because you might be using Ninja Mode, but you might have just used your own dang phone.
Yeah.
You might use your own dang phone.
Got you.
Right?
Awesome.
So it's like, how you can't prove it. So you can't sue on something you can't prove. And the burden is always on the plaintiff. Right. So it's definitely a good question to bring up, but it's kind of crazy, man. And so that's all I can tell you on that end.
Okay.
All right. I'll give you legal advice on the other stuff. If you want to be legally compliant, use your cell phone, only call from there.
Okay.
I don't know the rest.
Cool. And then one small one. What's the fastest way to level up on school?
Leave comments that people like, that bring value.
Cool. All right. Cool.
And then make good posts like, oh, I called 100 people today and show proof. It's pretty dang cool.
Awesome.
That's it, man. All right, Julius?
All right. Sounds good, man. Thank you so much.
All right. Appreciate it, man. There we go. Yeah, so I think we've pretty much proven so that the auto dialer, let me write this. So power dialer. I'm not getting the whole power dialer legally compliant, but it seems pretty dang good. Our power. I don't know about the answer of power dialers. We'll ask someone on here. David says, if I could possibly put a deal under contract but don't have EMD or proof of funds, but the agent wants me to send in my offer, I got a weird feeling I got a double close. That's not a problem. And if you're really if EMD is a main issue and they want like a big fat EMD, I mean, one thing I will probably tell you to do here is do that. Make sure the EMD is after the inspection period. All right, let's see what are the questions we got here. I mean, I wouldn't be using a ChatGPT for comping right now, but hey, it's definitely up to you. What's good wholesaling action plan to do to get 3 to 5 deals a month using X leads only? So if you only want to use X leads to get 3 to 5 deals, I would call and text blast. Like literally, that's all I'd be doing, and I would be just importing government lists first and foremost, and then pulling other lists after that, and then calling, text blasting. That's my best advice for using a software for that. Now, should you be dropping all this volume out there? Yeah, that's great. I would probably prefer you like get your first deal first and then start going like I don't want you to be sending 50,000 texts a month until like you're actually going out here and getting deals, and that there's some people like, I don't have the time, Zach. I need to go X leads and start go crazy, go ham. But yeah, there we go. Let's see here. Hello, Zach. What would you say about school district when looking at properties? What score do you consider? So myself, honestly, cash buyers will let you know more than anything. But school districts, like if you're from the area, you should generally know about the school districts, right? Like for most of Florida, like Broward County, Miami-Dade school district's not going to be like, oh my gosh. There's not really a clear difference for most of them. Now, there's some areas in Texas where it's a big deal. So you should just generally look at school district rankings and check it out from there. Courtney says, who's in charge of the inspection? So it's going to be you, always. So go to Wholesaling.com. It's all in there, man. Let's see here. Peter says, I'm not worried about the conversation part. I'm worried I don't know enough of the mathematical, technical intricacy of things. Like, is there or there's not enough equity to do this type? So, Peter, that is legitimately the least of your concerns. And I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart, like with all the love I can tell you, man, the mathematical intricacy, nerdy stuff is the dumbest ones. Hey, are you looking to sell your property? I'm looking to buy it for cash. Does this work for you? This price work for you or not? Now, things will come up in the conversation. I promise you. Things like, well, I owe way too much. I owe more than that offer. Huh. I don't know that, but I bet Zach knows that. And let me go ask Zach. There we go. And if it's even more advanced, hey, I'll ask Rick. Some crazy probate situation. That's the coolest part about, talking to us for free and being in all of our communities. It's like, maybe I can't answer the question, but I know one of the hundreds of people making millions of dollars in Wholesaling.com can answer the question. So we're a community. It's like a hive mind, right? Where it's like, well, I might not know, but there's definitely an expert in here that can know it, and we'll all get you the answer right there. Drives me crazy. Let's see. There we go. The American Flag Studio stopped me scrolling back in the day. I've had that American flag background for almost 7 years now, since 2019. I've used this picture of an American flag with the American flag with the brick background. If you don't believe me, go to Flip with Rick. Go to the oldest live streams. 6 years ago, did a live stream with that brick background with the American flag. I've been using it forever. And yeah, I don't own the picture, but I've been using it forever. I love it. I think it's pretty cool. Oh my gosh, these questions are so funny. All right, what's going on? What's up, Joe? I haven't talked to Joe in a minute. What's up, Joe? How are you, dude? Let's see. Eunice said, I had some fear up until I got my first deal. See, Eunice literally saying exactly what I've been saying. I got some fear until I closed my first deal. Now I don't care. I'll call you right after. He threatened. Bro, me too. I care less. I thought charisma is only in Fallout. Bro, these comments are good. Courtney said, took your advice and cold call on a Sunday and it went great. Awesome, bro. Dude, it's like, should I call on a Sunday? Well, it's better than not calling at all. Now, there's certain days that cold calling is probably not the best idea. Like Christmas is a bad day to cold call. July 4th, generally, because that's coming up, is not a good day to cold call. Like, I mean, morning, like 9 a.m. to like 2. Like a lot of July 4th really sucks for the numbers. Trust me, I've crunched the numbers pretty good. You know, VAs in the Philippines don't care about July 4th, but generally not really a big deal. Robert said, work as a barber and take care of my kid. What's the best VA website to get someone to cold call for me when I'm not cold? So Robert, I would go through onlinejobs.ph. That is going to be your best place to find cold callers, but you have to be really good at training them. Go through freelson.com. We got it all in there, man. All right, let's see here. Then also, guys, make sure you join our Discord. It's absolutely for free too. So I tell everyone to go to freelson.com, learn, through the wholesale course, but the Discord is always popping. So it's always a fun community. If you've never used Discord, it's really fun. It's like it's kind of a chat room for wholesalers, but you watch it, you'll get it. It's really fun. We just talk about wholesaling and kind of everything. It's really fun. I'm very active on Discord and freelson.com too. I love both platforms. Let's see here. Brandon said, owner gave me the price of what he is trying to get. I gave the owner my offer, what my offer is, and the owner stated he already had people offering more than me. So offer gave me the price of what he is trying to get. I gave my offer. He already had people offering more than me. I mean, he's probably not lying. I mean, dude, like sometimes they're going to lie to you. Sometimes they're not. So it's hard to gauge them there. So I'm currently talking to motivated sellers trying to sell 2 properties. And then Brandon said here, I think the owner's lying because he would have sold it already, but how did I get this deal sold? So Brandon, you were literally answering the question you're supposed to ask him. Hey, well, if you got higher offers, then why didn't you go with that one? And then they're generally going to say, well, because I want my offer price. From there, you can follow up or offer creative finance or go with their price, but their price is probably a little too high, most likely. That's the problem. Jesley says, can we stop a foreclosure in 24 hours? In California, yes. Most states, no. Maybe Washington, maybe Oregon. Nick, what's up, Nick? If I have a deal and I went to JV, should I provide the JV agreement or my JV partner, or it doesn't matter? Okay, I'm a little confused here. If I have a deal and I want to JV with, so you provide the JV agreements to the JV partner to sign, and then you sign it, and then you give that, most important, you give that agreement to the title company so they know. So they know who to pay out in the transaction. Malik says, ever try to buy a probate property for someone you know? No, I do not. Here's the thing. Like, I love doing probates. I don't like wholesaling from family members or friends. That's just me. I had a buddy once. His mom was like foreclosing on a house, and like I could have made some. I don't want to deal with it. It's just not my thing. It's not what I do. Some people are like, hey, go crazy on it. I don't like doing it. That's just a personal thing. Rick doesn't do that either, right? We don't. That's just not our thing. But hey, I mean, because things. I don't know how your family works. Because if they find out you made 30 grand on an assignment, like I don't want to get in the middle of that, right? Rabia says, what is the first step how I can start wholesaling? Well, the first step of how you can go out here and start wholesaling is going to freewholesaling.com right here. Freewholesaling.com is my free real estate wholesaling course and community where I teach how to wholesale real estate absolutely for free. So yeah, go to there, freewholesaling.com, check it out. Thomas says, any chance X Leads has a free trial? So we have no free trial, and we still are not having a free trial. You got to remember, we give everyone a free Go High Level account with that, and you don't really get trials with that. And yeah, we just don't give trials anymore for it. We just want to have the best customer service possible. And when we had a free trial, we had thousands upon thousands of people every single week signing up for a free trial. And I'll be honest with you, it overloaded a lot of the customer service staff, and it was a problem answering phones when you have thousands of new customers coming in every week. So we decided, we're not going to do a free trial. We're going to purposely reduce the amount of people signing up. And so I can hire at a rate that is in proportion, because we're growing, but I want to hire people, the support staff, in proportion to how we grow. And I just want to make sure that everyone kind of gets the best service. And so we're actually underway. We're doubling the amount of people answering the phones on X Leads. So I had some people saying, hey, I wish we can get in front of people a little faster on the calls. And the tickets have always been really fast. We always will answer a ticket within 24 hours. But the phones, a lot of people, like, the problem with our people, like they'll be in like an hour and a half Zoom with someone, and it's like, oh my gosh, like that's great. We help them, but like it's hard when you got all these people calling. And so what we basically decided was no more trials. We're gonna hire as many people that are qualified. That takes some months to train out, and so probably on July. We're going to double the amount of people answering the phones. They're all going through training right now, and that's going to be really good. And then we're really going to double it again in 2 more months. So we'll hire them like this week, and it'll take 2 months for them to train, and then boom. Then we just, grow the amount of people answering the phone. So no trials of it yet. We're literally doubling the staff right now, and it's just only for the existing people now. And you can sign up if you want, but yeah, we're trying to keep the customer service as good as possible, because X Leads literally has so much that I just want the education to be as good as for them. But yeah. Let's see. Jason says, Zach, what are your thoughts on mobile home parks? I'm thinking about investing in them. I love mobile homes, man. Dude, the ROIs are amazing, especially where you're at. Good ROIs, amazing ROIs. I would like to get them on creative finance, but yeah, dude, they are money, man. All right, Jim, you said you've been waiting 4 days. So, Jim, if you can drop your email, I'll love to look at it and see what we can do to help you out. Should be 24 hours of business day. So if you send it Friday, you should get it on Monday. Super Angel says, so should I not cold call Ninja Mode if I don't have LLC? No, you can cold call on Ninja Mode with LLC. You are completely fine to do that. If you want to get an LLC, I do recommend you go to wholesalingtax.com. So wholesalingtax.com is basically who we use for our taxes, our tax prep, all that stuff. And pretty much the reason why I tell you to go use it is because they'll follow your LLC for pretty much $0, plus you have to pay whatever the state fees are. So they'll file it, but you still have to pay the state fees and whatever cost that is. But they won't charge you a fee for filing it. They'll only charge you whatever the state wants to. So it would cost you the same to file by yourself than using them, and they can get all your articles and all that fancy schmancy stuff done. So wholesalingtax.com is how you do it. Yeah, Jim, just give me the email on the bottom, and I can put it in like a Slack channel and have them do it first thing tomorrow morning. So Robin says, if I look at comps and they are close to a suggested wholesale offer generated by X Lead, should I use the suggested offer? No, I would go below that. If the comp shows something different, then yes. And then send me the property and we can see what was going on there. Because X Leads has a suggested offer with every property. And we can always look at the algorithm and see how we come up with that and if it was wrong or right. Maybe you're wrong, maybe we're wrong. I mean, I'm assuming because you're individually doing that property. I mean, there's hundreds of millions of properties on X Leads. I mean, probably send me the address and we can help you out. Probably give you a gift or something too. David said, the agent kept calling me, asking me when I send my LOI. My thing is I have competition. How would you go about this, Zach? Do you have a contact number? So David, my contact number, I do not give my personal sellout, but if you want my streamer link and actually talk to me right now, I do it right there. Thing is, if I give you advice, I want the whole entire wholesaling community to hear it. I just don't want to give personal advice just for you. I'd rather everyone benefit from good advice that I give. Or if it's not good, let me know. But if the agent wants you to send an LOI, go send it. I don't know what the issue is. Brandon says, that's what's up. I don't focus on 25 plus acres. I primarily focus on residential vacant lots around 10,000 square feet. It's pretty good. So 10K square feet. So it's going to be what? Quarter acre, right? 10,000 square feet. Let's do here. Let's do square feet. Let's do 10,000. Yeah, it's like a quarter acre, right? Oh, 0.2, good, same thing. Let's see here. There we go. We got some networking going. There we go, Nina. We got, hello? Hello? Bro's using a potato as a camera. That was embarrassing. How are in 2025 some of these cameras are like so bad? All right, let's see here. All right, let's pull some. Let's pull some older questions and maybe not got to everyone. So yeah, no, you don't need to scrub X leads or anything. We already got a litigators list on there. So Carter says, how to wholesale property with title issues, multiple names on title. So Carter, the title issues that you have is the title company's job. Like they literally provide title insurance. If you don't know how title insurance works, just go to Wholesaling.com. We teach it right there. But if you're trying to be like a title expert type, that is a bad idea. What I tell you to do is if there's title issues, you write a contract with everyone you think is on title. How I do is whoever's name is on title, I write the agreement with all the parties. And if they say, no, that guy died or that guy died, right? And there's only one person or there's an error, I would still in good faith write it with whoever I believed was the owner and then go to the title company and make sure that we can confirm it and they can do the due diligence. You don't want to lie. You don't want to deceive. You don't want to do that. That's obviously bad stuff. But you want to go out here and with your best faith, as long as you believe who's the rightful owner or claims are the rightful only owner, then goes the title, let it pass title. That's not your job. That's the title company's job. Good question, though. Appreciate it. Howard says, how do you calculate an ARV when there is an unpermitted space? Come on, man. Oh, dude, I hate these. Just use the permanent square foot. Is there a value to permit this when this depends on the investor risk tolerance? Yeah, Howard. So an unpermitted structure, it's there. You know, it might have value, might not. It really depends how well built it was. If somebody built it without a permit, it's probably not a real professional. So probably is not going to even get a permit for it. And most cities don't like unpermitted stuff. So you would value it without the permitted structure at all. I just pretend it's not even there. I love when people enclose garages and they don't get a permit for it. So stupid. Axel says, has anybody worked in the Wisconsin market? Wisconsin market is amazing. Headlight Revolution says, I can need help. Here's the streamer link. If you want to talk to me, make sure that you got a good mic. We can talk. Right here, streamer link, want to talk. Mycel says, are properties in HOA communities a good for wholesaling where it depends on the HOA price? So I've made a lot of money with HOAs. And so I would say, don't be like, oh my gosh, it's an HOA. No, but make sure the HOAs are in cheap real estate. And what I mean by this is make sure the value of the houses are under 400 grand. You'll be good. HOAs above 800 grand are probably not going to be a good idea. And so make sure they're just cheaper. All right, there we go. Yeah, Howard, let me know what type of structure that was. I could probably, the more specific you are, the better answers I can give you. Of course, Jennifer, always here to help. Matt says, I'm looking at a very unique property that I've never seen you do a video on. Some unique circumstances I have not come across. I do not know where to start with the seller. It is a 24 bed, 24 bath. Bro, okay. Okay. Is this a multifamily, single family? So how many? I don't see. Here's the thing. I don't care about square feet. If it's a single family property, just give me the square feet. Do not give me the bed and baths. I've had people. It's an 8-bedroom, 8-bath. And it's like it was a 2-1, 1,000 square feet, but they decided to basically turn this thing into a rat maze and make 8 bedrooms, unpermitted, by the way. Howard loved that one. Unpermitted, by the way. Oh, it's an 8-bedroom. Comp it as an 8-bedroom. No, it's 1,000 square feet, man. I'm going to comp this as 1,000 square feet. Jeremiah says, hey, I just joined the Discord 5 days ago. Watched the courses up to acquisitions. I just joined this live. Should I start calling now or continue completing the courses? Any tips? So Jeremiah, is currently 9:47 p.m. So you can't call right now, but you can go through the course. And so what I tell you to do is during like daylight hours, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., wholesale, find deals, make money. When 8 o'clock hits, eat your dinner, whatever it is you do. And then from like 8:30 to like midnight or 8:30 to 11, right? Spend 3 hours going through the course. You can do both. That's the answer. So during daylight hours, I call it money-making hours, income-producing hours. Go do that. And then go out here during the night when you can't cold call, post digital band signs, email blast, and then go through the course. So your primary focus, though, is to find a motivated seller. Because the thing about it is if you're struggling, right, I'd rather struggle like, dude, I have so many contracts. I don't know. I can't find any dispo with any buyers. Well, we got plenty of people in the community to help you out with versus you're stuck just going through the course and not taking action. I'd rather you take action than anything else. David says, I believe the agent gone tell me to try to tell me to, oh, dude, David, like you are hurting my head. Dude, okay. All right, we're going to try to read this again. I believe the agent gone tell me, try to tell me to send EMD upon signing the contract. Well, David, you can't do that. And the way that you do it is you do the EMD after the inspection. Now, you can go borrow the funds. Actually, no, David. Actually, I believe, and I'm going to get in trouble saying this, but I believe Max here does give the EMDs out for his JVs. I believe he does that. I could be wrong. Where's Max on here? Didn't Max comment on this? He's low-key stalking me today, but we're actually going to use him because he can help people out. So we appreciate him stalking. I was stalking his stream the other day too, so I had nothing but nice things to say in his last video. He needs better titles. Where is it? Where did he post it on here? Hold on, I'm trying to find it. I believe he lends EMD out if you JV with him. So Max Deer, look him up. He's in our group. He'll help you guys out. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know where he's at, but Max Deer, MAXDIER. I believe he'll lend EMD to people if he does a JV. Let me try to find his comment. Max. All right, let's do this. Let's try to find his comment on here. Here we go. There we go. Right here, Max. I believe he will DM. I think he will. If you DM him, I believe he'll lend EMD if you do a deal with him. So that's who I'd be using, David. What's up? Dude, he is on a hot streak. So Howard says, basically the seller has an unpermitted 600 square foot master, 1,700 square foot permitted. Seller wants more because they believe the additional is worth more. Nothing I can do because they want. Okay. So Howard, I appreciate you telling me that. So Howard, what I would say is, okay, well, if you want more, what I want you to do is go to the city, go spend thousands of dollars getting the permit, go and have it inspected, have it passed because I know you're a master construction guy probably. And after you spend months and months and months and thousands of dollars, then I'll give you what you want. But also remember that you can't sell this on market because that will never pass an inspection. That could be a fire hazard. And also you can let the seller know that if that is not structured properly and it causes termites, it will cause a fire, it will cause flooding, mold, mildew, rats, whatever, insurance might not cover it because you did not let the insurance company know about it. But hey, tell me how that's worth more. That thing looks like a death trap, not an asset, right? Andrew says, is it possible to wholesale from the Caribbean? Of course, man. You can wholesale wherever you want in the world, dude. Carter says, how to comp a duplex if there's no comps? You do it all. We do what we call cash flow comps. So if the duplex is bringing in 1,400 square foot each, so it's bringing in 2,800 a month, divide that by 1%, 280, use that as a comp. Cash flow comps, what we call it. Now, it's a little higher than that now, but generally it's a good like needle where you should be at for a low ball offer. Y'all go crazy, no cap. Yeah. Let's get some more slang in here. All right, guys. So if you want to go out here and learn how to wholesale real estate absolutely for free, go to freewholesaling.com, learn how to wholesale real estate absolutely for free. I love teaching you guys how to wholesale, make a ton of money, and get rich in this business. Guys, do me a big favor. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe. I'll see you soon. This is Zach Ginn signing out. Have a blessed one.